You could have technically, and you have made some, you would obviously know, you have made some short-term gains. All that you need to do is sell at a loss, book a short-term loss, adjust it against your short-term gains. And by the way, sell in the last week of March, buy it back again in April first week. Your portfolio remains unchanged. But what is the benefit is, simple, these are all the loopholes. The benefit is, he's already smiling, the benefit is you adjust your short-term gains with your short-term losses. Here is one case, a case where you would see this. Which sell? Distressed asset sell. What is happening here is, you're carrying forward the losses. And by the way, please note, I'm putting one last slide here, a very simple one last slide. You will technically, you will read some, one last line, and right, any interaction can be private, want to revert back to pre-operative, right? But I just thought I'll give you a flavor. You would see, ma'am, you will be astonished, you are joining our field. You will see an Economic Times ad, which says, available loss-making companies for sale at a premium. And you will wonder why and what basis is this premium? Simple. People like me are guiding on the other side. So we will say, sir, आपका losses है ना, उसका benefit मिलने वाला है उसको. Simple. So he will sit down and say, what is the benefit to you? Oh my God, you are saving 30% on taxes. Let's talk. Food for thought. Simple food for thought. Just thought I'll share this with you. Please note, preliminary expenses written off over a period of time. We come to pre-operative expenses. Thank you for your questions. One thing remains, pass through, pay through. I'll address it definitely after an interaction, right? Please note, pre-operative expenses. I want to give full marks to Mr. Shailesh, who spoke to me in the tea break. One of the pre-operative expenses is, thank you sir, is clearly IDC. A pre-operative expense is what is known as IDC. Let's get this straight and clear. Thank you again, sir. IDC stands for interest during, thank you, interest during construction, which leads me to start hitting the base first. First, start hitting the base. And the base that goes in this discussion, a very interesting base for this discussion is, when is a profit and loss statement formed? Sudhir sir, I know you're not from our field, so I'm asking you a simple question. Right? I don't want to ask, right, get it knocked off first time. When do you think profit and loss statement is formed, senior? When is the first profit and loss statement prepared by the company? Sorry. Monthly basis. Okay. Senior?
Commercial production.
The reason I was not asking you all, right? So please listen to what sir said. The first profit and loss statement is prepared moment you start commercial production or start of commercial service. Which leads me to ask a simple question. So the moment you start commercial production, thank you again sir, from that day, your profit and loss comes into play. First thing that I want to ask you all is, why most of this, and again I'm looking at you all and I hope I'm giving you some benefits here, why most of the SEZ areas or backward area benefits, some of you are considering that, tax benefits, why do they technically start commercial production in the first week of April or second week of April? I don't understand this. Can somebody tell me? Why, sir, Mr. Rahul, why would you even consider this? And I'm advising you, that is the way you should do it. Why? First week of April, second week of April. Why? Whole year depreciation. First, I want to compliment that. So that is not my answer. That is not what I'm seeking for. What he meant is, good, Mr. Mayank, absolutely. If you buy anything within the first 6 months, you get full year's depreciation. Okay. If you buy anything in the second half, you get half year's depreciation. But Mayankji, this applies to anywhere during the first 6 months. No, you get full year's depreciation. Here, specifically, I'm saying, even if you have started commercial production in January, show it as trial runs. January, February, March, trial run. I started commercial production in April. Name of the company, SR Gujarat. January, I'll give you examples. And today everybody is doing it. It started with SR Gujarat. Today everybody, and I would advise you all to do it, and advise your clients to do it. January, February, March, they started. And then they declared commercial production in the first week of April. Income tax came back and said, what nonsense, you started in January. I said, no, one sec, trial runs. And they were very nicely advised because their structuring was so good, their documentation was superb. They had also sold, but then they sold that sales as second sales. So I said, yes, but it was trial runs. We sold, and we sold it at 100 rupees per unit. And look at our main sales, it goes at 120 per unit. And as with everything in our country, this case landed up with Supreme Court. Supreme Court nowadays decides a lot of things. I think there are all-rounders sitting as honorable judges, right? Starting with a live-in relationship in the morning, by afternoon he has to decide on a tax case, but God bless them, right? Okay, right? Please note, right, the Supreme Court has given a good judgment in this case. The Supreme Court says it is left to the unit to decide when to start commercial production, not a bloody income tax officer. So SRs have won this case. Today everybody is doing it. Why? Because when we say 5-year tax holiday, 7-year tax holidays goes with financial year. If you start commercial production in January, thank you sir, you are only 3 months, but you use that entire year. That is the word, lose. Thank you very much. You lose that entire year because take it as one block. तो ये लोग क्या करते हैं सर, if I can speak in Hindi, right? ये क्या करते हैं सर सवेदी, ये लोग push करते हैं उसको, ताकि पूरा साल मिल जाएगा, 3 महीने का दे तो you are getting benefit for 3 months, you lose for 12 months. Please understand, dear friends, whenever we say tax holidays, senior, whether direct or indirect, it goes as financial year. Use it to your benefit. And please note, why Shailesh sir was saying IDC is your profit and loss, as Fawad said, profit and loss comes only after you start commercial production. That means whatever, no bank will say, you pay me interest after you start commercial production. Loan is disbursed, meter down. Chalo, clock is ticking. Now whether you delay, you are not able to acquire land for your BOT project, that's your bloody problem. My meter is down. It's as simple as that. That interest till start of commercial production is what is known as IDC. Thank you again. That IDC is a part of pre-operative expenses. Please note, an IDC, since there is no profit and loss account, an IDC is typically capitalized. Now before I go to capitalize, what could be pre-operative expenses? Interest during construction, it could be raw material charges, wages paid till commissioning of the plant, right? Take your examples, anything to do with before operations. The accounting treatment is, and I'll come to the tax treatment also, is to capitalize it. What do you mean by capitalize it? Is add it to your asset cost. Please add it to your asset cost. Take it to balance sheet. Though it is, Ashish ji, though it is a profit and loss item, sir, please capitalize it. Sudhi sir, what does capitalize is, you can, Khandela sir, Mayur sir, you can add it to any cost of asset. You take a choice. My request to all of you all, including you sir, you should advise your clients, and I tell my clients this, all the 8 headings are in front of you. My advice to clients is, as far as possible, thank you, please capitalize it against plant and machinery. This is a wonderful audience. Before I said it, many colleagues said it. If you're wondering why we are saying it, ma'am, it again goes back to what we discussed, right? I'm not even looking that side. Highest depreciation tax shield. So the way we ask our clients to structure it is, take a bank loan and then place an order for plant and machinery, so that the transaction is, bank loan is used there. Excuse me, if you are, I don't know, but my esteemed colleague there who asked a wonderful question which really can come through practice. If you are looking at capital gains, not depreciation tax shield, then maybe you may use that loan to purchase land also. But having said that, please note, I can't give a specific solution because I don't know the case. What I'm trying to say here is, thank you again Harish sir, 90% of the time you capitalize it against plant and machinery because you are enjoying tax shield. If I'm taking this session, let's say for a company which is going to be incorporated in Dubai, when there is no taxes, then I think we don't need to invest time talking about tax shield. But there you still have an incidence of capital gains. Then you possibly look at capitalizing it towards land. What do you mean by capitalize? One last thing. Capitalize basically means, suppose your cost of plant and machinery is 10 crores and you are having an IDC, interest during construction, of 1 crore. Now your cost of plant and machinery in your books